morning. Let me see who's in here. Ooh, Lord, what's up? I see you. Let me see who's here. Hey, Anthony 757. Beverly, what's up? Dre Day, what's up? I know CDP is somewhere in here. Yep, right at the front. What's up, CDP? What's up, you all? I hope you all are doing well. So, you all, I am on the road heading to work. Seen a couple of things, and it's sad. So we have a lot of court dates today. Somebody said somebody have a hit and run. They say Lemon have a hit and run court. We know that Tommy has a court date today, and the girls are saying Castro has a court date. He said he may not go, but that's your choice. That's what the girls are saying. Um, Thank you for the emails. I saw one today, and they sent me the link, and it's sad. I don't think it's funny. I think people are struggling, and it's downright sad. Yeah, it's a lot of court cases today. A lot of court cases today. But it's downright sad. So somebody sent me two pictures of Rico, the barber or bartender of Rico Reports. They showed me some fingernails, and it looked like some chicken nuggets and some chicken wings. And then they showed me a picture of somebody eating. So I'm like, Lord have mercy. So I went on over, and baby, I guess he was at Domino's Pizza, bless his heart. So number one, if you go to Domino's and if they don't have any tables and chairs, that means you take your stuff to go and you eat it at home. Hello, somebody. If there's no tables and chairs at the Domino's, that means it's takeout. You get your stuff and leave. I wanted to say S and leave, but you get your stuff and leave. What's up, Sabrina? What's up, Sabrina T? I see you. Baby, hey, Diva, Divine Starlight. So Rico orders his pizza, and he gonna make the people place down at the Domino's a club. So he got his music playing and dancing and shimmying and stuff. It's giving boho homeless. It's giving boho. I can't even say boho chic. It's just giving boho homeless. It's just giving homeless realness. It's giving brother, can you spare a dime? Do you have an extra cigarette? Do you have a light? Do you have any spare change? You think you can buy me some cigarettes and a tall one? It's just, and then he had, I don't know if it was snot. I don't know what it was, but it was like dirt all on the jacket. He looking like his eyes is puffy, like he haven't slept in a minute, like he worried about something. Hey, I'm doing well, Sabrina T. Like he worried about something. Is that Rico in here? Yeah, like he worried about something. So finally they call him to get his pizza, and I think he got some pasta Alfredo and some chicken wings. He sits down at that Domino's, which is really not for a sit down, it's for takeout. Baby, he act like He just went through the middle passage and they ain't feed him nothing. Baby, when I tell you he ate that food like he ain't never seen food before, and then, I ain't see nobody wash their hands. It was really something else. So he was smacking and I'm like, Lord have mercy. And then he was eating the pasta, Jesus, and the cheese. Oh, Lord. And just smacking. And then after the smacking, we just wanted everybody to know that we ate. So it was this obnoxious burping. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm glad that the brother is eating. Because it seems like he hasn't eaten in a while. Seems like he eats when he can. But let me say this. Poor don't mean dirty. Poor don't mean bad manners. Poor don't mean being rude and talking to the people like they crazy. And I just sat there and watched. And he'll be the first one to say somebody want him. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, do you eat like this at a regular restaurant? Do you eat like this at a regular restaurant? Baby, I just sat there and wow. No napkins, just licking fingers. No napkins, no putting the grease on. Baby, it was just go for what you know. Smacking all everywhere. Food particles falling out his mouth. And then the obnoxious belcher. And my thing is this. Who would take you anywhere with that type of table, man? I mean, damn. Now, I'm going to say this. And I don't care who hears it. I don't think I'm better than anybody. But darn it, make better choices. Dude, you don't hurt people coming up here doing all that cussing and because again, I ask you the question, what is that doing for you? And all I'm telling you this morning is to invest in yourself. Rico, you are not investing in yourself. You coming up here with a soiled jacket. You it's just like you eating like you ain't never ate before. You look dirty fingernails. Then you're licking the fingernails. And my thing is this, if you want better, do better. At this stage in your life, Rico, you have major opportunity to go back to school. If you don't want to go to school, to get a trade. If it's HVAC or something to that extent. But don't you want better? Hell, even at 55, I'm still looking and investing in me. You got to invest in yourself. And I mean, number one, you didn't hear me call you out your name. I'm not cussing you out. But you come on camera. You don't put yourself in the best light. No one is jealous of you. I promise. I swear before the Lord, I am not jealous of you. I wish you could give me something to be jealous about. But nothing. Dude, you struggling. you're struggling. And these are the two worlds of same gender loving men. Now, I know that whole stump down can't stand my guts, and that's fine. But what we do have in common is employment, home ownership, reliable transportation, senior citizenship. And y'all think senior citizenship is a negative. No, baby. If you can live and get to our age, how some of these people living, you doing real good. And we just sit back and because it ain't working. You cursing us out ain't doing nothing for you. And Rico, I know that you have a clean slate academically because ITT was found guilty of fraud. So they wiped your loan situation out. If you did the right thing, hopefully you did. And because your income is not a large income, you have more resources to get an education, whether it's technical or classical. But man, you got to do something with your life, Rico. You are 35 years old, and living on the system is not working well for you. See, other people can live off the system because they're senior citizens. They are senior citizens. Dude, you are 35 years old. You don't start getting benefits until 60, 65, 63. I'm talking about, and the ones that you get now, come on. But if you like eating processed food on a daily basis, y'all, let me say this, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I really felt badly for him. And with all of that fire in your belly, all of that anger that you vent towards us, why don't you focus that anger to better yourself? The best revenge is success. Why do you think I'm here so long? These hoes thought I was going to lose everything. Oh, no. Oh, no. See, because it don't shame me because I drove Uber and did Airbnb. You know why it don't shame me? Because I had options and I could do it. But you can't do Uber if you don't have a car. Now, they can get you one and you'll be in more debt. But you can't do Airbnb if you don't have a clean, stable place. So, again, that wasn't no shame for me. But as I sat there and witnessed you eat, it hurt my heart. It was sad. And I'm like, this brother is really going through right now. Now, you can go and cuss and say everything that you want to say and that you've grown enough to say. But the reality is, you still got to deal with the harshness of your reality. And if you cussing me out is going to give you a little bit of joy, then go ahead and do it. But the thing is, that problem's still going to be there. What you going to do? To me, this is a show. But I'm telling you, man, you got to do something different. You are not a kid. You are in your mid-30s. Tommy, you going to court. You ain't never had no record. Now you might have a record. All of that drinking and cussing me out and saying you don't like me, how's that going to help you today? Because whether you like me or not, it's not stopping me from going to work. It's not stopping me from going on vacation. When do you wake up and say, okay, this is just a show? I need to get my life together. People making baskets. I'm not mad at them baskets. I'm not mad at them baskets, but if them baskets is not supplying you a car so you can drive and go to work, and I meant what I said, you are not dumb. If you can go fill out paper for food stamps, then you ain't dumb. If you can sit there and manipulate people and try to provoke them, then you smart enough to know strategy, smart enough to lead a division. Y'all hoes ain't dumb. I don't know who told you all that. All of this stuff on YouTube. If you can get on a camera on YouTube, if you can do all of that, baby, you ain't dumb. And I'm gonna tell you something. Attacking folk is not gonna help you. That's the whole thing. This is why I just look at the sector sometimes and shake my head, because doing that is not going to help you. And now we're in this season of doxing and all of that stuff. It's not entertainment. It's really hurt people lashing out to hurt other people. And it's sad. It's sad. Don't bother me because people talk about my stinking link and it's paid for. That hoe is paid for. And baby, I ain't getting another one until the wheels fall the hell off. Because again, I'm not here to impress people. I am not here trying to do all of that. This is a show. This is a show. And when you know it's a show and when you know who you are, y'all, these people don't bother because you rarely watch them. Somebody sent me a clip of Heidi Fly. I deleted that shit. I said, I don't got time for that. That was something in the past. We move on to the future. All I can do with the past is learn from it, so I won't repeat it again. Like Shelly said, baby, when you stab me in the back, I take that same knife and cut ties and move on. That's why it doesn't affect me any, because we are very transactional on this apparatus. Let me see what y'all saying. It's sad. Y'all, I saw that man eat. And like I said, I ain't picking at the man eating. It was just like, damn, could you slow down? Damn, have you not eaten before? He was eating like Kunta Kinte when they gave him some food. It's like, well, anyway, this is why I don't eat from everybody. This is why everybody can't do no potluck with me. Cause see, people be doing stuff like that. Fingernails don't be cleaning their hands or nothing. Just go right on in for the kill. I'm like, oh my god, cheese all down your chin, girl. Bye. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. Let me see what y'all saying. What's up, Room Shaker? Good morning. Thank you, Janice, hey Darcy, girl, he was at the Domino's eating, girl, fingers all dirty, licking the finger. It was just like, ugh. Like I saw him eating Domino's and turned it. Girl, these folk content with living off of the EBT, girl, all that you. Well, they don't want to stop them benefits, but them benefits stopping them. See, they don't want to stop them benefits, but they are satisfied with the government giving them a little change to go eat. A little change to go eat. And then and the administration trying to take everything from them. It is a blessing to get older. Girl, not a music producer. Well, like I said, I don't really watch them. So, again, I'm going to tell you something. When you don't see it for me, I'll leave you alone. See, I don't sit there. This is why I can't understand why people sit in churches where people are spewing hate at them day in and day out, and they just sit there. I don't. I mean, some people do. Girl, nobody can be retired in this economy. Okay, I hear you. Even the retired people are hurting right now because their retirement is just taking a hit. That's all we can do. Maybe the mash. I heard him. I heard him, Divine. I heard him. He's coming for the girls because he need more money because he just got monetized. Yeah, I heard it too. We were never cool. You never cool with somebody whose intentions are always bad. So no, we were never cool. Moving right along. I guess she is, but it is what it is. She got a husband. Oh yeah, everybody comes from the house of Jay Wilson until they don't. And see, that's what you get used to. You get used to pushing people forward, and then when people get to a certain place, they come for you. But that's okay because it is what it is. This is why I don't invest a lot of time in people. This is why I tell people I get you to your 1,000 and I'm out because this is what people do. No ties. People will love you 1 minute and cut your throat the next. It's the beast. And speaking of that, y'all, shout out to Michael B. Jordan for doing his thing in Sinners. Sinners should have came out with the best movie. We understand what the assignment is. We understand how the Oscars work. But I watched the Oscars last night. It was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. I will say Barbara Streisand's tribute was moving. I mean, she doesn't have the voice of Barbara Streisand. You know, she's older now. But just her attempt to sing the way we were was so nice. She dedicated that to Robert Redford. Then they talked about Rob Reiner. And there was a lot of tributes. I did not know T.K. Carter had passed, y'all. It's a lot of black actors that have gone on to glory. I did not know T.K. Carter had passed away. It's quite a few people. But they went on and did tributes to a lot of people. So I did watch the Oscars, and you know the sad part about it again, and this ties into YouTube. Baby, you here today and gone tomorrow. You just as good as your best movie. Once your movie is gone, and if you ain't doing nothing no more, people leave you alone. They move right on to the next person. Because Hollywood is you popping today, you gone tomorrow. This is what I tell these people on YouTube. And it should be a wake-up call. You are only good as your last movie. That's it. So yeah, baby, lovely love, a lot of them. But like I said, it is what it is, and I don't take it personally. I would do it again because they're here for the sector, and you can't say that Jay Wilson ain't never put nobody on. And again, I never try to take anybody off. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. What's up, Angelica? Let me say this: I'm not going anywhere until I'm ready to go. Ain't a hoe gonna move me. Now, I said Labor Day, and when I'm ready, you'll know. I just wanted to put that out there. But we're in the month of March, and I challenge content creators: invest in yourself. Can you do something positive? Can you encourage your people to do something that will be life changing in a positive way for them? Can you do entertainment without doxing? Can you do entertainment without doing all of this crazy stuff? Now they're saying RNY TV has called the cops on some people and put some papers on folk. And I think that's interesting too. So it's a lot of things going on. Y'all can't y'all can't harass people anymore. You can't make threats and people don't take them serious anymore because the law is catching up. And things that you used to do, you can't do no more. Point blank, period. So I'll be checking out with these court dates. And like I said, somebody will send an email. And let me say this again: I don't have a problem with getting emails. And truly, the people who know I'm watching them, I'm watching them. I don't have time to watch hoes who don't care for me. Are you serious? I barely watch the ones who I get along with. So you know I ain't watching no hoes who I don't get along with, because I'm not that type of dude. Now, I'll work with you. I ain't gonna never deny myself of a coin. But I don't have to watch you. I sit on the platform with Jay Dunn, but she can't come on my platform. I don't hate her. She's just not good for my platform. You see where I'm going with this? So, y'all sit up there and take that abuse and listen to people. Prime example, Castro. You got all of this smoke with people. Why do you watch them? Well, because if you watch them, you'll have content. If you don't, you may not have anything to talk about. But if you're going to sit there and watch them, then go ahead, when you come up to other people's platform, put a name on it. Stop being passive. Put a name on it. And if these people bother you so badly, then stop the hell watching them. It's just that simple. And yes, I get my information from the emails that people send me. And I don't have to lie about it. And I don't give a damn who don't like it. Because I'm not doing all of that crappy looking through mess for 8 hours for nothing. I'm not doing that. I wasn't even giving Rico no attention until somebody showed me them fingernails and that chicken wing on that table and sent me the link. And I was like, wow. But I'm telling you, I don't look at hoes I don't care for. I don't have to. But I tell you what, they'll be up in my platform looking at me. And I'm good with that. I don't give people business. Hello, somebody who I don't care for. I don't do it in real life, and I'm not doing it on YouTube. Life is too short to be dealing with foolishness. Now, I can understand if somebody is giving you some real truth, but baby, when people really, really don't see it for you because they really in their heart have an issue with you, even though you may not have none with them, you keep it moving. And I don't have an issue with nobody. People talking about something, I didn't know y'all didn't get along. No, it was always in that hole to do that. Because let me tell you something, Jay Wilson gets along with everybody. When I see shit that don't be adding up, I just cut ties. I just cut ties. And you keep it moving. Don't be sitting there trying to be with people who don't like you. That's what used to get me with D Miss O. She may be in here today. I'm like, girl, you got your own platform. People coming to see you. Leave them hoes alone. If you know they don't see it for you, because they want you to keep running behind them. Stop running behind them. Work your power. Do what you gotta do. You got much as talent as they do. Always looking for something outside where everything you have is already in you. And I like D Miss O. And I'm not gonna lie, I know people talk, I like D Miss O. Overall, I think D Miss O is good people. I like D Miss O. So it really bugged the hell out of me when she be going in spaces where folk don't see it for her. I'm being real. Stop going into spaces where folk don't see it for you. It's just crazy. So shout out to D Miss O. She's doing her court thing with Honest Row. I like that. And I'm telling you, shout out to her. And let me say this too. RNY TV, I like RNY TV. I think RNY TV is a smart lady. I'm not envy needs RNY. RNY is the brains. Now, it don't take too much to be conniving, to be an opportunist. It don't take much. But I hope RNY TV breaks out on her own and does what she needs to do. I like RNY TV. I just don't like her co-host. I just don't like her co-host. And I told y'all why I don't like her co-host. Not because of that ring thing with MU, it's because he exposed her at a vulnerable moment. And if somebody can do that to you and they don't even have any empathy for you, they don't have empathy for anybody. That's all. But I like RNY TV. She used to be over here all the time, and like I said, people come and go. I'm gonna tell you what, y'all. It's not because I've done anything to these people. Everybody is treated the same. Nobody. I don't get on the phones with some people and be hollering back and forth with them. And the people who I am on the phones with, it ain't nothing that deep. I'm just being real. It ain't nothing that deep. Y'all on the phones up there explaining your circumstances and trying to trauma bond and stuff. Baby, these people don't care nothing about y'all. All they doing is gathering information. That's all they doing is gathering information so they can use at a later date. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate, but that's what people do. And sometimes we don't catch on. Y'all, it's a lot of things going on in the sector. All the sector and the people in the sector are not bad. Some people really want to do a little light, but there are some people with some mental challenges. There are some people who have low self-esteem, and they're doing all of this stuff, and it doesn't make any sense. And some people are very unstable. So yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rico start coming after people because he got a monetized channel, but will he have the emotional intelligence to keep it? Because see, people like Rico don't have nothing to lose. And all it takes is one incident where somebody really get under his skin and he'll lose that channel too. Because people haven't learned their lessons. And if your mama can't tell you, if your grandmama can't tell you, if your auntie can't tell you, like hell I can, but let it be on the record that we told people. That's why I'm not worried about Tom and Castro. Because, baby, it's on the record of me saying, hey, take your relationship off of YouTube. It's on the record of me saying, hey, they getting ready to dox you. You may need to get off. But now them hoes blocked me. And what happened? See, again, people always think that you're against them. But when you really go back and look at the tapes, you've been telling them all along, you need to be careful. This apparatus is for entertainment. You don't put your real life on here. And the folk, Angelica, don't listen. You remember we was telling a content creator, Brian, about that car accident, and we were saying, hey, man, you need to get a lawyer. But he talking about the insurance and supplemental insurance. I'm like, boy, that's Aflac. But the company is going to give you look, they're going to try to give you a little as possible. And what a lot of these lawyers do is push things out because they know people are desperate for money and they will settle. And that's exactly what he did. This is why you got to have a secure job, long-term, short-term insurance if you need it, because the lawyers know that they're going to wait you out because they know that you're going to start hurting for money. And you will settle for anything. You can't tell people that who know that. Baby, we know that trailers depreciate. If you get a trailer, you might as well go and get a car and put it on the land and live in the car. Because we know that trailers depreciate. They do not consider them homes. You can't tell people nothing. I mean, you know, and the thing is, you think you know everything. You know why? Because I will go and look it up. I will go study. I don't know everything. But I do know a lawyer will wait you out and do everything. Y'all don't understand that corporations try to pay you as little as possible? I have a friend. I want y'all to hear this. They had a Cadillac, and it was one of the electric models, and it was under warranty, and the battery kept messing up, and the people didn't even know how to fix the battery, and they admitted it. The car went completely out. Do you not know Cadillac was trying to goop him, and he had to get a lawyer? I'm going to tell you, they waited. They used tactics like they didn't want to call him back. I mean, but this is their fault. Baby, he waited and got a whole nasty piece of settlement from Cadillac. Cadillac could have gave him a new car. They didn't even want to do that because they don't want to spend money. They don't want to lose one dime, even though they were wrong. And the whole goal is to delay so you can suffer. And when you suffer and you need that money, you'll settle. And that's what they want you to do. And it seems like that's what happened. Now, I don't know people's personal business, but I do know when you have friends in the legal profession how it's done. Companies are not trying to pay you. Insurance companies will pay you the least possible because it's all about the bottom line. It's not about doing what's right for you, it's about doing what's going to be best for the company. Never forget that. What's up, Lady Sparkles? See, let me say this, y'all. If y'all gonna wait, do you have 2 to 3 years? Because if you really gonna get what belongs to you, it's gonna take time. And if you don't have patience, the lawsuit game ain't for you. The lawsuit game is a long game, baby. It's not a short game. Even for folk where it's cut and dry, you gotta wait because it's called appeals, and people will appeal until they don't have no more appeals. It's a long game. Baby girl, I know. That's right. That's right. No, people always trying to get ahead. They're always trying to beat the system. And people say, well, Jay, you tried to beat the system when you went to Las Vegas. No, 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 no. When you spend money, good money, you expect your shit to be right. And the hotel room wasn't right. And I had every right to complain. And let me say this, you all, I was so tactful. Again, I didn't treat the people like dirt. Every time that mechanic came in to fix that particular air conditioner unit, you know, and so then look, then the hotel said, well, we can move you to another suite. So I said, well, am I gonna? And of course, I was at the Mirage. So I said, well, am I gonna have the volcano view? I don't want to be looking at Interstate 15. No, we can't. We can't guarantee that. Well, no, I don't want to move the room because I paid for a room, viewing the volcano suite, and that's what I wanted. And I was documenting. I went down to talk to the manager. I said, look, this room has been paid for. Everything has been paid for. I said, we got this fixed. We went back and forth with this a couple of times. Your own people came in to say, yes, it's not working. It is warm in this area. And I just went through it. And I said, for this amount of money that I've spent, I expect more. And I said, and I don't think it's unreasonable. And I thought they were going to give me half because I would have been okay with half. I would have been okay with half, right? They gave me the whole refund and I think $700 in food credits for my inconvenience. It is what it is. I didn't get nasty. I didn't go in there cussing folk out. I just stated the facts. When you paying for something, you have an expectation when you're paying for something. I'm getting ready to go to Dallas. And baby, this hotel is everything. And I have an expectation. Now, not about crazy stuff. But let me tell you what, the Mirage was the only hotel that I had to do that with. I mean, it is what it is. But for luxury brands, no. And I always tell people, it's really funny when black people are emotionally intelligent and they stand up for what's right. We always got an issue with them. But somebody who's not black can go in and act a fool and cuss the whole staff out, and they'll give them all of their money. I mean, that's what bothered me. It's okay for folk to act ugly, but when we stand up for what's right, then we're difficult. Oh, we're difficult to work with, and yeah, we get it. Correct. Yeah. No, you can't ruin my train vacation. I'm not. Let me say this. I'm not worried about it. There are stipulations. I'm not worried about that one bit because what we do on YouTube is entertainment, but in real life, that's a whole nother ball game. So I'm not worried about that, Divine Starlight. That's not even a worry of mine. Yeah, let me say this. Enjoy life. People were talking about Brianna and why she doing all of this for her graduate. Well, if she has the money to do it, let her do it. You can't take it with you. And I'm not saying be um, negligent with your money. You want to have some for a rainy day. You sure do. But at the end of the day, you're gonna leave here and you can't take none of it with you. All of these millionaires, boom, can't take none with them. Yeah, Ladon. But again, this is the problem with the sector in a whole. Not everybody, but a lot of people do not have any accomplishments, or they put their accomplishments and try to measure it against other people, which is a bad situation too. You have to run your own race. You have to know what's important to you. But when you're always comparing yourself to other people, then this is when the problem starts. This is when envy and jealousy comes in. And my thing is, I'm about making the right decisions. I'm about investing in yourself. Yeah, LaDon, you got to invest in yourself. I'm not a billionaire. I'm just enjoying life. I am comfortable. I love doing what I do, and I'm comfortable. I'm not trying to impress anybody else. I knew this ring thing was going to throw people in a tizzy, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It ain't no big whoop to me. But for some people, it's a big deal. Y'all know I ain't wearing no fraudulent rings. I ain't wearing no CZs. But it makes people feel better. Because some people feel like, well, why does he get everything? And again, it should be like, well, how can I improve myself to do XYZ? Do you all know that when I was working for Delta, people were getting homes and everything? First of all, I could have gotten a home working for Delta, but what I saw people do is live in a state and they only enjoyed their home. Their homes were almost like a timeshare because they spent so much time working at Delta that they couldn't even enjoy their homes because they had to go work to pay the mortgage, and then they would go home like it was a vacation spot and then back on the plane again. Um, Their relationships were really up and down because they were always gone. Now, the senior people had a little better go at it, but I didn't want to live like that. That's why I said, you know what? I got to make a choice. I had finished my doctoral program, and I'm like, you know what? As much, and let me tell you, it was hard because when you can travel the world free, and I'm talking about anywhere in the world free, those benefits keep people there. And I know people who hate that job, but they stay there because they want to fly free. I had to say, you know what? I have invested too much time in this. And then I left. But I got a home. And let me tell you something. When my buddies come and talk about what they're doing, I'm like, as much as I miss aspects of traveling and working for Delta, I don't miss that bidding for Christmas. And on my job, I get all of my holidays. But that's a decision you have to make. And I don't fault my buddies for still working at Delta because they still love their job. But you got to do what's right for you. So I delayed home ownership because I didn't want to buy a home in a state that I might not live there or might not even like. And I'm glad I did what I did. So it was a matter of timing. You know, so again, I don't go deep into my life because you know how these people are, but my decision was a conscious decision. Because wherever I lived, it was nice. I'm just saying. So everybody is different, but my thing is, you know, I like the stability of being in one place. I like the stability of I know I'm gonna get off at this time and get off at this time. Because at Delta, baby, like now with all of this snowstorm and stuff, you be stuck up in New York. Again, I didn't like, you know, you be stuck in New York and you don't make money until that door of the plane closes. You don't make money until the door of the plane closes. Or if you are in a foreign country or you're on a layover and something happens, that's when you start making money. But if you get delayed and you ain't never got on the plane, you ain't making no money. But now flight attendants make really good money when the higher you are, the more senior you are, the more money you make. But you know what? Now this is the flip side of it. They be trying to get rid of them senior flight attendants because they cost a lot of money because they make more than the junior people. The junior people are usually younger. And so the health benefits, you know, older people start having issues. So they start costing money. And this is why people don't like to deal with older workers in a physical type of job. I'm just being real. And it's unfortunate. But when you work behind those scenes, you know. But like I said to you all, I have really enjoyed life. And I ain't mad at nobody. But it's choices you make. So it's not being better than anybody. When people talk about, oh, you think you better? No, I don't. But you got to make some choices. And you got to make sure your choices work for you. What are you doing? Boo-boo, what are you doing? What are you doing, honey? This is a roundabout. Girl, what she doing? Girl, what you doing? Oh, my God. Girl, she stopped at a roundabout. Girl, you need to go. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. Help the people when they driving, Jesus. So it's a turnaround. And in Texas, the turnarounds, you just turn around and then you merge into traffic. Girl, this girl stopped all up at the turnaround, Jesus. Oh, help her. Because somebody going to hit her in the back. Somebody going to hit her in the bike. My. All right, y'all. I got a little time. Let me get where I need to get, and then I'm going to turn my camera on. But y'all, let me say this. I'm not mad at anybody in the beef sector. I don't take people personally. You can't take people personally. This is a show. I don't know these people personally. Stop acting like these people done said something. Let them say what they want to say. Let them say what they want to say. Long as you know and I know, we good. Okay, somebody said, okay. Yeah, Mandan. Yeah. God said, I treat myself every day. You better. I started at Delta, I guess when I was 24, 25, 24, 25. Yeah. So I taught at the school and I'm like, nope, this ain't gonna work. And then I was at Delta for, yeah, I think I started with Delta when I was either 24 or 25. I was in my mid 20s. I can't imagine lying and juggling a doctoral program. I don't know what you're talking about. Can I say this, y'all? I don't have to lie about my accomplishments. That's crazy when you got to lie about your accomplishments. I don't have to lie about my accomplishments. Thank God for transcripts. But some people have to lie. I don't have to. But once I finished that program, I had to do something different. And I had to make up my mind because, some people would have stayed. But had I stayed, you would have never been fulfilled. You always want to make sure you follow your dreams. You don't want to ever say, gosh, I wish I could have done this. And I think that's the big thing with me. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. Most of my family, with the exception of one person, but they only moved because of economics. But everybody stayed in Florida. I'm like, there's more of the life to Florida than Florida. There are other states, there are other countries. Thank you, Giggle Bunny. And I said, I'm moving. And everybody was like, oh my God, are you really leaving? And but so I would never go back to Florida right now unless God changed something because Florida is low pay and high housing. Florida is low pay and high housing. And the high housing comes because people move from California and New York. They'll sell their mediocre home in New York and get $600,000, $700,000 and get a house in Florida for $400,000 and bank that $300,000. And that causes the market to go up. So those working people in Florida are now out of the housing market because those people in New York and California are selling their homes and getting bargain deals in Florida. And now the people who are making that low wage money, they're pushed out of the housing market. So I would never try to go and stay in Florida. And it's getting ready to happen in Texas now because people know that Texas has great pay and low housing costs. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. I have a relative who taught in Broward County Public Schools. Her and her husband, they couldn't afford it. They had to move to Georgia to afford to be able to. I mean, they had a small apartment in Georgia. They got a 4-bedroom home. I have a cousin. She lived in Pembroke Pines. She is a nurse practitioner making great money. But even as a nurse practitioner, she was like, I got to get out of Pembroke Pines. It's too expensive. And the house she had was a nice house, but it wasn't palatial. And she was paying all that money in Pembroke Pines. So right now, well, let me move on. Then she moved to West Palm Beach off of Belvedere, kind of near the airport in a really nice subdivision, gated. She finally wound up going She finally wound up going to Stewart. I don't know how long Stewart is going to be cheap, because Stewart is like a bedroom community to the Palm Beaches. It's a little cheaper, but even Martin County, which is Port St. Lucie and Stewart, are going up now. The only places you're going to be able to afford in Florida is places in North Florida that's rural, where nobody wants to live. Because anything on the panhandle, you're going to pay for it. So people are moving in the interior of North Florida to be able to make it, because Florida is extremely expensive right now. Tiana said, I'm in West Palm Beach now and the cost of living is too much. Yes, I'm going back to New Jersey. My God, my God. They retired in Miami for the night. Yep, I'm glad I bought my house when I did. You better. I didn't tell anyone I was leaving. I just left, and now they want to come. See? Oh, Lord, not the fake snakes. Florida is ridiculous. Don't want to pay nothing. They don't. They don't want to pay nothing. And the housing is expensive. I'm in Chicago, Pastor, and I'm so ready to move. Now, I used to live in Chicago. I lived between Sacramento and Kedzie. I lived on West Palmer. I lived right on West Palmer. It was a great place to live. It was a nice neighborhood, very reasonable. When I left, them prices started going up, because Palmer Park, which is north of Humboldt Park, but really close to Logan Square, is really considered Logan Square. Then prices went up. I could walk to the California Blue Line. I never forget, it was a Catholic church, and I would just walk on the side of that Catholic church and get to the Blue Line and walk right on back home. They live south of Atlanta. Miami is so extreme now. You can't even move to Carol City. Carol City, where Dr. Heavenly is from, those houses were built in the 60s and the 70s. They were regular tract homes. You could buy those homes for like $60,000 and $75,000. Now those homes are going for $300,000 and $400,000 in Carol City. So again, I made the choice to come to Texas. Now I lived in New York. I knew I wasn't going to live in New York. New York is not a place for old people. It's not a place for, yeah. New York was like, no. Had my job not transferred me to Ohio, I would have stayed in Chicago. I don't care what nobody say about Chicago. I love Chicago. Chicago is a great city. No way in God's hell or heaven was I going to stay in Cincinnati or Dayton or Ohio, period. No slight to the people who live in Ohio, but Ohio was just as racist as any place that I have been to down south. And in Ohio, you did not have a feel of security. If I lose a job in Texas, I know I can go down the street and get a job. In Ohio, I just, and there was something about Ohio that was so unsettling to me. I didn't want to stay there. The taxes in Ohio were extreme. So I wound up going to Texas. Houston was my first choice, but Houston wasn't available. So I wound up going to San Antonio. I was only going to stay in San Antonio for a year. I wound up going to Houston, and I saw the flooding in Houston. And when you see $1 million homes underwater, that Houston traffic, Yeah. So I wound up staying in San Antonio, which I like. So yeah. But you all, yeah. So I'm not better than anybody. I ain't trying to be better than nobody. Y'all, people just got to make better decisions. It's the decisions that people are making that I think are really hurting them. And y'all make better decisions. And y'all, have we all made bad decisions? Yes, we have made bad decisions. Lord knows. Every, but don't let your decision be so bad that you can't come back from it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because some of us have made some decisions that cost us a lot of things. Now, I made some decisions on YouTube, and they might not have been the best, but I tell you what, I don't regret nothing that I've done because everything that was happening was for me. And some things happen, and I'm glad they happen because sometimes we're in places where we're not happy, and it don't work out. So again, you got to do what you got to do. Ooh, it's cold, y'all. Let me tell you something. It was 80 degrees in Texas. Now, this Texas is almost in the 30s, and the wind is blowing like crazy. I don't know what in the hell is going on, but yeah, 1 minute you in shorts, and the next minute you have to break out your sweaters. What's up, Hershey? So, y'all, all I'm gonna say is it's all about the choices you make. You gotta make good choices. I'm not lying about that. And the older you get, the better choices you should make. I can understand when you're younger. I can understand that. But, and I'm not going to say you're not going to make mistakes when you get older, because you do. But it should be fewer. The things that I did in my 20s, we see it a mile away in my 50s. So, and this is what I'm not getting. You have these guys who are in their mid 30s, and they still making mistakes like in their teens. And it's not a judgment. It's just reality. I'm like, why are you making mistakes like that? You should be done with stuff like that. You should be done with trying to go fight people. When people up there trying to fight folk, I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? But I guess people don't have nothing to lose. So look, y'all, I'm getting ready to head on out. But I'm gonna be keeping my eyes and ears with these court dates and all of this stuff. I'm gonna keep my eyes open, my ears open, and if there's anything that I need to talk about, I will. Um, I'm not leaving until I want to leave. And how I decide to leave is my decision, and ain't nobody making me. And if I want to sit here and talk about me leaving, that'll be your content. But it is what it is. And so I ain't mad at nobody. Keep on emailing me about stump down and want somebody to leave. And I'm like, baby, why you telling me this? I don't care. That's his problem, not mine. Don't bring his problems to me, baby. Don't bring me his problems. That's his problem, not mine. Because people want to bring that to you like I'm gonna be going. Let me tell you something. It's funny that Castro had mentioned giving people smoke and stuff. Maybe some people want to fight and some people want attention. And again, this is the difference between me and Castro. Um, I don't I don't feature people or watch people who I really don't care for. And like I said, I know about that situation because of emails. And people like, you always get emails. Yes, I am. And I mean, it works. Maybe y'all need to try it. So, because it really cuts down on your time. It really cuts down on the time because you know what? It's like surgical precision. Surgical precision.
you know, it just really cuts down on your time. So yeah, so that's how I feel about that. But look, I got to get ready for a meeting. Thank you all for coming over. And I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. And I might be on for lunch depending on what's going on in these streets. So I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and love.